They smile for the cameras. They define relationship goals. They make us believe that happily ever after isn't just for storybooks. You see them on the red carpet, hands intertwined, sharing a private joke in front of 1,000 flashing lights. And we eat it up, don't we? Their love stories are our modern-day fairy tales. A handsome prince and a beautiful princess building an empire under the Hollywood sign. They project this image of perfection, a flawless union that seems totally immune to the pressures that break the rest of us. But what happens when the fairy tale shatters? When the empire crumbles? Behind the red carpet smiles and PR-approved statements lies a world of heartbreak and betrayal the public was never meant to see. Suddenly, the story we thought we knew was just the cover. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the real stories behind Hollywood's most devastating breakups. We'll explore the bitter fallout of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, the cultural implosion of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, and the tragic split of Britney Spears and Kevin Federline that sent shockwaves for over a decade. Brangelina, the fall of a Hollywood dynasty. For over a decade, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie weren't just a couple, they were a global brand. Brangelina was a term for the absolute peak of Hollywood power, glamour, and even humanitarianism. They were the golden couple, with a sprawling, multicultural family that seemed to have it all. Their relationship started in a storm of controversy on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and for 12 years, they were the undisputed king and queen of the celebrity world. They made it official in 2014 at their French estate, Chateau Miraval, seemingly cementing their legacy forever. Then, in 2016, it all came to an abrupt end. Jolie filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, and the world was stunned. But the real shock wasn't the split itself. It was the darkness that came out from behind that polished facade. The turning point was a now infamous incident on a private plane, where Jolie alleged that a verbally and physically abusive Pitt had terrorized her and their children. Allegations Pitt has consistently denied. This event triggered an FBI investigation and became the bitter centerpiece of one of the longest and most toxic custody battles in Hollywood history. The public, who had once idolized them, was now forced to choose a side. While they were declared legally single in 2019, they only reached a final divorce settlement in late 2024, a full 8 years after they first separated. But even that wasn't the end. The fight just shifted. The new battleground became their shared assets, most notably that picturesque French winery, Chateau Miraval. Pitt sued Jolie after she sold her stake, claiming she broke their agreement not to sell without his consent. Jolie countersued, accusing Pitt of waging a vindictive war and trying to force her silence about his abuse with an aggressive NDA. According to Jolie's lawyers in 2024, the events that led to their separation were so traumatic that she and their children haven't returned to the Miraval property since. The fight over the winery has become a proxy war for all the unresolved pain of their marriage. The Brangelina dream, once a symbol of perfect love, has become a warning of how even the most powerful Hollywood dynasties can rot from the inside out, leaving behind nothing but legal fees and painful memories. The story of Brangelina shows just how quickly a public fairy tale can turn into a private nightmare. But their dramatic split wasn't the only one to send shockwaves through the entertainment world. If you're finding this look behind the curtain interesting, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell for more deep dives into the stories Hollywood doesn't want you to know. Kim and Kanye, the unraveling of a cultural phenomenon. When Kim Kardashian and Kanye West got together, it wasn't just a celebrity pairing, it was a cultural collision. She was the queen of reality TV, a mogul who built an empire on personal branding. He was a visionary artist, a rapper and producer who saw himself as a modern-day Da Vinci. Together, Kanye was a force of nature that dominated fashion, music, and social media. Their 2014 wedding in Florence was an over-the-top spectacle, and for years, they were the power couple that defined the 2000s. They built a family with 4 children, and their life seemed like a carefully curated performance of extreme wealth and high fashion. But beneath the surface, the cracks were starting to show. The turning point wasn't one single event, but a slow, public unraveling. West's increasingly erratic behavior, his controversial political statements, and his struggles with mental health put a huge strain on the relationship. The polished image of their family just couldn't withstand the chaotic reality of Kanye's public persona. In 2021, after months of speculation, Kardashian filed for divorce. But the split was far from clean. What followed was a chaotic period marked by West's public outbursts on social media, where he frequently attacked Kardashian and her then-boyfriend, Pete Davidson. He accused her of keeping the children from him, a claim she has repeatedly denied. They finalized their divorce in late 2022, agreeing to joint legal custody. But the reality is that Kim has the children the vast majority of the time. The co-parenting relationship has been tense, to say the least. On a 2024 podcast, Kardashian opened up about the situation, saying she's pretty much a single parent. Sources close to her have said she is frustrated by what she sees as West's absence and its effect on their children. Kim, for her part, has publicly stated that she has begged West to spend time with their children and has never denied him access. The Kanye empire, once a symbol of ambition and cultural dominance, crumbled under the weight of mental health struggles and the impossible pressure of living life on public display. It's a tough look at how even fragile human beings run the biggest brands. Britney and K-Fed, a divorce that sparked a revolution. The romance between Britney Spears, the undisputed princess of pop, and backup dancer Kevin Federline was a whirlwind that captivated and baffled the world. Their 2004 marriage felt like an act of rebellion for Spears, a step away from the tightly controlled image that had defined her since she was a teenager. They had 2 sons, and their lives were documented in a chaotic reality show, Britney and Kevin, Chaotic. The title turned out to be tragically prophetic. Their marriage lasted only 2 years. In 2006, Spears filed for divorce, and what came next wasn't just a breakup. It was one of the most brutal and public downfalls in pop culture history. The split triggered an intense and messy custody battle over their 2 young sons. The pressure of the divorce, combined with the relentless, predatory media scrutiny, sent Spears into a spiral. The world watched in a mix of horror and fascination as she shaved her head in a Los Angeles salon and delivered a heartbreakingly vacant performance at the MTV Video Music Awards. The courts took notice. In the custody battle, Federline was ultimately granted primary physical custody. The aftermath of this divorce was catastrophic and life-altering for Spears. Her very public struggles were a major catalyst for the court placing her under a conservatorship in 2008, a legal arrangement that stripped her of control over her own life, finances, and career for the next 13 years. The custody arrangement reflected this new reality. After the conservatorship began, custody eventually moved to a 50-50 split, but that changed again around 2019 to a 70-30 arrangement in Federline's favor. Even after her conservatorship was finally terminated in 2021, a huge victory for her and the #FreeBritney movement, the custody situation didn't erupt into another court battle. with her sons being teenagers and Spears reportedly wanting to protect them from more public drama. The arrangement seemed to continue without major legal challenges. The breakup with Kevin Federline was more than just a celebrity divorce. It was the event that led to a decade-long struggle for freedom and forced all of us to have a tough conversation about how we treat our stars, especially young women, in the public eye.